Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me? We're going to get started in a few minutes. We've got something new today. I hope you're enjoying the layout, by the way. I know it's a little bit different, but we're going to get started in a few minutes while everybody else is getting their lunch. But if you notice, there's a couple of cards on the tables. We've got a new game for you. It's called Guess Who. So if you look at the card, there's a couple of clues on here in yellow. So I want you to look at this and discuss this with the people around you. And the goal is to guess what member matches these clues. So when the meeting starts, I'm going to come back and ask kind of each little group what your guess is. So y'all please collaborate with one another and be thinking about that. And we'll get started in a few minutes. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Greenville Rotary Club July 14th meeting. We are glad you're here and hope this meeting will enlighten your day and we'll all learn something today. So I want to start off with our new guessing game. So we've got a new guessing game. It kind of threw me off a little bit because I thought we were going to have individual tables rearranged, but we don't. We have two very long tables. So you have been given 3 clues as to who this Rotary member is. I guess we'll just break it up between table A and table B. How does that sound? So table A, does anyone have any guesses on who this Rotary member is? Roger or Christine? Yes. Christine? Amen? Okay. We got Christine over here, and then this table over here. We got Terry Weaver. We're going with Terry Weaver. All right, so Terry A is Christine, table B is Terry. All right, and the correct answer is Christine. So everyone at table B, if you wouldn't mind putting money in the cart bucket because you guys have just lost the game. All right, we're going to get started with Happy Bucks. Jeff, are you around here?
Happy rainy Tuesday, everybody. We needed it, didn't we? All right. Anybody not happy that it's raining? Oh, I'll get to you, Amy. Roger. That's the French way to say it.
Yeah, that works. So I've got some money here for the cart bucket because I'm happy that we have a lot of guests here today for cart, but also Devon, who's the immediate past president and also an assistant governor in our district of the Golden Strip Club. It's her birthday today. And I won't say how many, but it ends in a 0, so it's a good one.
Congratulations. Thanks, Roger. Hi.
I'm very happy because I've got all of you as my friends. I would like to say thank you for the surprise party that many of you attended last Friday. My husband lured me with a story about German expatriates meeting somewhere, and I should bring a fruit platter Friday night, be there at 6, bring the kids who didn't know anything either. And I was surprised by many smiling faces from many members from this club, and I just would like to say thank you, and I just love being a member of this club.
Thank you. Thank you, Christina. Going down the line. Anybody up this way? Not all at once. I can't get to you all at once. Anyone down the inside aisle here? All right. Oh, yeah, we do have one, Miss Lucy.
I'm happy to announce that I'm moving from the land of fully employed to a solopreneur in the 1st of September.
It's a fun place to be. Congratulations there, Lucy. All right, Amy. Thanks for waiting so patiently.
Get your steps in. Hey, I want to know, it doesn't have to be coins in the bucket. I got a 20. I got some good news. I am leading a team in the walk Alzheimer's, and I'm inviting you, me. The microphone does not like it, but I've already got a few folks signed up, including my husband. Now, this is a Rotary Club of Greenville team in the walk, and my old man doesn't normally do Rotary stuff. I told him he is not required to raise any funds. I just want him to walk and support, and he has agreed. So I have got my husband signed up to do something Rotary. I would love every one of you to join us. I have already raised some funds. Raising funds is not required to walk. So if you want to walk with us to support the fight to end Alzheimer's, please talk to me afterwards and keep an eye out for an email. Thank you.
That's awesome.
October 4th from 2 to 4 p.m. in downtown Greenville, October 4th.
If there's a more appropriate cart announcement, I'm not sure what it is, but that's great, Amy. Thank you. I'll circle back, Jay.
Well, I have to give money to the cart bucket, but to say thank you for you guys for having us here. Some special announcements coming later. But for those of you who missed the district event for your district on Saturday, you missed the one opportunity for me to celebrate what this district has done by me wearing a Clemson jersey for a moment and a half, and it will not happen again. But your district raised $123,000 for the cart fund this year. So thank you for that.
It's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Up and down I go. These shoes were made for walking. That's just what they'll do.
Okay, on your table, you have a green handout for Alexander Elementary. Remember, when we started serving as a partner with Alexander Elementary, it was for the teachers. And so this will give teachers supplies that they do not have to buy with their own money. So there's a list there. You can bring them to the next Rotary meeting. You can purchase any of those on Amazon and have them sent to Scott's office. The address is on that handout. You can call me. I'll come pick them up. But please give some goods for our teachers.
Thank you so much. Jay, nice haircut, brother.
All right, so my apologies. I didn't bring cash, but I'm doing it online. It's already pulled up, just logging in. You can see it. So I'm putting $10 in today for two different things. Number one, my youngest son got engaged in Utah last week. So my last one in the bunch, hopefully to finally get him out of the house. And well, he's been out of the house a long time, but he's getting engaged. And on top of that, just a real quick reminder, Goodwill's year end was last week. And for the first time ever, we brought in well over $200,000, a career high for Goodwill. So I want to thank all of you who have helped do that, and thank you very much.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate that. All right. We want to welcome all of our guests today, for our speaker and our special CART representatives. Has any members brought any guests that they would like to introduce today? Amy?
I have a very awesome guest today. You guys know how involved I am at a Child's Haven, on the board, love to volunteer there. Olympia Eddy is the new Director of Development at a Child's Haven. So I'm super excited to have her here today.
Is there anybody else that has guests? I have a guest. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna give it to you, Brad.
Hey, I'm Brad. I'd like to introduce Emma France with a company that does fractional CFO for the upstate. Then she's probably on every screen you see because she's almost everywhere in Greenville. A wonderful person, and we're glad she's here. So thanks for coming.
Anybody else? You are our guest. Welcome. Venus. Sorry, I haven't even said hey to you.
Hi.
So Okay. Well, we have our guest of the club, Venus. So welcome. We're glad you're here. Anything you want to say?
We moved back. I moved from Atlanta back to Greenville, so I'm excited to meet you all and learn more about what you're doing in the community and see how I can get involved.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Venus. We look forward to seeing more of you. All right. And then I'm going to move on into other announcements real quick. So I am going to, over the past weekend, as you've heard, we've had the District 7750 Awards and Installation Picnic took place in Greer. We had two of our members that volunteered and helped during that. So just special thank you to Jim Purrier and Christine Thompson for volunteering for the event. We did bring in a couple of awards, so I'm going to try to give you a summary of what we received. So we received the Vibrant Club Award, which is when your yearly attrition is less than your 3-year average. So we brought that in. I'm trying to see here. And then we had a number of Rotary Leadership Institute graduates over the past year. I'm just going to read those off to you. Christina Min, Brett Caldwell, Jeremy Hart, Lucy Henry, and Mark Leonard. So there's our RLI graduates over the last year. If you have not attended RLI, we strongly encourage you to do so. You will learn so much more about Rotary and make the experience even more meaningful. And let's see. And Christine, we also received the Club of Excellence Award. And I had that written down somewhere in my notes. But anyways. All right. So I want to give you kind of an update on the different financial and fundraising aspects, kind of a district in total. So for Rotary Foundation, Polio Plus. So over the past year, for Polio Plus, the district brought in $180,366.22, which is a new record. So that's awesome. And this club was within the top 3 giving clubs. We were at number 2 for Polio Plus, and we donated $28,713.91 for Polio Plus. That's awesome. And then as far as the annual fund, the district as a whole brought in $587,369, which is also a new record. And then we were also part of the top 3 giving clubs in this category as well, and we were number 1. We brought in $109,234 in for the annual fund. So that is amazing. So thank you to all the members that helped with that. And we heard this before, and we're going to hear more about CART, but the total giving for CART of the last year was $127,000, which is also a new record. All right. And then we talked about the Club of Excellence Award. We also received the EPIC Award, which is Excellence in Public Image Coordination. And we received the Platinum Award for that as well. So good job to our PR team on that. All right. And then we have several members that are serving on the district level. So there was some recognition for that. And kind of one of our members that is rolling off of a major role in the district is Beth Pageant. She's rolling off of founding the foundation chair. And so she received a special award for that. 'Cause I think you served for 5 years. Is that right? 5 years. So thank you so much, Beth, for assisting with that. And then within the next coming year, we've got several members that's going to be serving district roles. I'm just going to read those off so you know who they are. So Beth Pageant, you're going to be, I think, serving on the annual fund committee coming up this year. Lisa Mangione is going to be serving as district finance chair. Roger Heitsick is going to be serving as membership chair. And Terry Weaver, communications chair. So I think I got everybody that's involved in the chair positions for the district. So as far as some other general announcements, we've got coffee and conversations coming up on the 16th at Yuki Bowls. Discover Rotary is going to be at Craig Calden Davis on July 21st at 5:30 p.m. Our next after-hours meeting is on the 23rd at Merrill Gardens. And our next upcoming luncheon meeting is going to be on the 28th with Victoria Wicks presenting. And then we also want to make sure you save the date. We have a Rebuild Upstate, our Saturday, September 19th. We're going to be helping them out with the project. So make sure you save the date, and there's going to be more information coming on that soon. And then some other upcoming district events, just so you can be aware of this. The Vibrant Club Forum is going to be August 15th at the Kroc Center. The next RLI is going to be August 22nd at the Kroc Center. So that's going to be very local and very easily accessible to all of our members. So we encourage you to attend that. Foundation Celebration is going to be November the 6th at Greenville Marriott, and the All Clubs Conference is going to be July 23rd through 25th at the Greenville AC Hotel. All right, let's go on to our positive thought for the day. In fulfilling your goals, a powerful message about patience and hope can be found in agriculture. Plant the seed. Write down your goal and divide it into small, easy tasks. Water it. Do one small task every day to keep your goal alive. Wait. Do not give up. Just as seeds take time to germinate, your hard work will take time to show and then harvest. With patience, you will see your success and you will reach your goal. All right, with that, will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. All right, and now we have Nick up next for a special presentation with CART.
Good afternoon, everybody. Here to give you a really special update on CART today. I'm really excited I get to be the one to share the news here. And thank you to our guests too from the Fountain Inn Rotary Club and the Golden Strip Sunrise Club as well for being here. Pretty special that y'all came out to celebrate Miss Nora Woods here. She's our guest of honor today. She's here with her mother, Emily. Emily contacted us about a month ago to give us a little bit of information on Nora. So I'm going to tell you guys why they are here today. And I'm just going to read what Emily sent to us originally. A few days after my dad passed, following almost 2-decade battle with the Alzheimer's disease, my 9-year-old daughter performed in the Rotary Night of Music last October. It was an emotional but deeply meaningful evening, especially knowing that the event supported Alzheimer's research. At the end of the concert, my oldest daughter, Nora, was in tears as she processed the grief. I encouraged her to channel those feelings into making a difference and helping support research so that one day fewer families may have to experience what ours did. She immediately got to work creating a plan. She made jewelry and cookies, organized a weekend fundraiser, sold lemonade, baked goods, handmade jewelry, and bounce house tickets. She saved 100% of the proceeds to go towards Alzheimer's research. Nora is an amazing girl with a big heart and entrepreneurial spirit, far behind her years. She took the lead on every aspect of the fundraiser with very little assistance. They are so proud of her, that the fact that she was able to turn her grief into something very positive. So not only, Nora's 11 years old, by the way. So she went through something pretty traumatic with losing her grandfather, obviously a long battle with Alzheimer's, but she organized this event and raised almost $300. So that number that Jeremy was reading earlier, we're going to go ahead and kickstart the year off with a $300 deposit today. So please give Nora a round of applause. Go ahead and stand up, Nora. I told her she had to give a speech, but she wasn't on top of that. Nora, I hope you know how amazing you are and that your efforts will undoubtedly inspire others to do more, to give back. And I encourage everybody here to, let's try to match that 300 today. We got plenty of blue buckets. I see a few of you reaching for your wallets right now. So thank you again for being here, Nora. You're an inspiration, and we can't wait to see what else you do in the future. Thank you.
what you have gone and done. And we are so excited to do that. And we wanted to go ahead and match your contribution. So I've got a check today to match what you did. And I believe that Tripp might want to say something too. Or
you said it well.
Okay.
It's very inspired, and we are matching the $300 to make it.
Yes. So thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. I'm Christine Thompson and Heather Hayes. Heather is in charge, the committee head, chair, for fundraising. And I'm just on the committee to help with fundraising this year. So
She's the co-chair.
okay, I'm the co-chair. I'm just a doer. So I wanted to just start with one question. How would you feel about having for Greenville Rotary to start a new Greenville tradition that would also be very sustainable and potential to grow every year? How would you feel about that? Good? Okay. So that's where I'm going to start off, because we've had different fundraisers in the past. We have a new idea that we are launching and very, very excited about. And I believe it will be something that's not going to be just a Rotary tradition. It's going to be a Greenville tradition. And it's something that will be sustainable, and I believe will be able to grow big with every year. But it has to start with all of you. And so we want to just get you introduced to the new campaign. We're not going to be doing the holiday fair. We're going to be doing a Kringle calendar, and we're calling it officially Kringle Holiday Countdown. So it's a calendar. I don't have it with me. Sylvia has a sample, but I don't know if you're familiar with the Advent calendars, and you open a flap every day. And the way this works is we need to first, we meaning all of us Rotarians, not us, all Rotarians, to be thinking about what businesses would be wanting to be a part of this new tradition. So if you have relationships with companies, businesses that would want to be sponsors, that would be fabulous if you connected with them. So our first step is getting sponsors, because we're going to show them that they're going to have marketing opportunity on the calendar, on the back, on the website, on social media. So they're going to get way more exposure for their dollars. So they're going to feel they're getting a better return. And more importantly, they can say they were a founding sponsor of an awesome Greenville tradition. Okay, so we get the sponsors first, then we start selling the calendars. We're creating a calendar. I'm going to show you a little sneak peek. And from there, then people, then it has a raffle number on each calendar, an individual number. So December 1st through the 12th, one or more raffle numbers are announced each day. And they open the little window on the calendar and they find out what they won. And it's all on the website that we're creating. So the website you can all use to help promote this new tradition. So it's going to be really easy for you guys to talk to people and say, would you like to be a sponsor? We're going to make this easy for you. And then people pick up their gifts, and we make a lot of money from this. It's going to generate way more money than the holiday fairs or anything like that, because we have very low cost to do this fundraiser. So that's the general idea of how it works. So where we can use everyone's Rotarian support is thinking of sponsors. If you don't want to call them, that's fine. Just let us know who to call on your behalf. We're happy to do that. But I alone don't have connections with everyone in Greenville. It's just not a reality. But between all of you, if everyone just came to me with just one sponsor for us to call for you, if you don't want to call them yourself, please let us know. That would be incredibly helpful. And then we need to find people that want to provide a prize. It could be a $20 gift card, something as simple as that. So if you know any businesses or entrepreneurs that want to offer up a little prize, kind of like how we had the raffle at the holiday fair and offering a painting or gift certificate to a service or a vacation or something, and you don't want to call those people, let us know who to call. But you can also come to us and say, hey, I arranged 3 prizes, so we're going to keep a log of that, and we're going to start promoting that so people are really interested in wanting to buy this calendar because they're like, wow, I have a chance to win something really awesome. And of course, you know, if anyone is interested in buying the calendar, we're going to have a link on that website. All you have to do is give them the website and say, just go on the website, you can buy a calendar. So you don't have to be involved with the transactions or anything. Just help us get these calendars into people's hands. That's all we're asking. So this is our timeline. So now until September, we want to recruit sponsors, recruit prize donors, and we can start selling the calendar once we get this site launched. We don't have to wait until November. So the more we can sell up front, great. If we end up selling more than we planned on producing, then we know how many to produce more after our initial production line. October, we're going to be more marketing, I'll say. We're going to start producing the calendar so it's ready November 1st. And we're obviously going to be marketing this on social media, and we want to do the pre-sales. November, we're going to have the calendars available for people to pick up. So the first 3 Saturdays in November, people can pick up their calendars. They have the option to either pick it up or it can be shipped. So we work the costs in for shipping the calendars. You don't have to worry about any logistics, getting calendars to people unless you want to volunteer on pickup days and maybe volunteer for 1 hour. It's going to be at my office, Wilson Associates, right downtown. There's parking there. Very easy. So there's a very limited, we're asking for people to volunteer. Unlike Holiday Fair was a lot of physical effort. This is going to be really easy beans for all of you. Just give us names. Okay, so I got to wrap this up. Okay, so and then December we announced the prizes. So we really need you guys. Okay, so the committee alone cannot rally up enough sponsors and all that. So we really are asking all of you to think about just at least one sponsor, one prize giver. Let us know who to call. And so let's build that tradition for our community together. And these are all of us on the committee you can reach out to. And last thing, did everybody get a flyer? Take a flyer when they came in? If you did not, please grab a flyer when you leave. It has a QR code on there with this information and how you can contact us. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Rotarians and guests. My name is John Kent, and it's my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Danny Markus. Danny grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, before moving to Louisville, Kentucky, where he met his wife, Stacy, during his senior year of high school. Danny has always believed in a long love of learning. He earned 3 degrees at the University of Indiana University, which includes a bachelor and a master's degree in business, along with a master's degree in parks and recreation. He later earned a 4th degree, another master's degree in forestry from the University of Idaho. Although his career began in retail management in New York City, Danny soon realized his true passion was for the outdoors and public service. Over the next 3 decades, he built an impressive career serving as a county parks manager, a nature center director, the Arizona State Park manager, and ultimately as a USDA agriculture advisor in the Nuristan Provincial Reconstruction Team in Afghanistan. Beginning in 2004, the U.S. Department of Agriculture supported Operation Enduring Freedom by assigning agriculture advisors to the PRTs throughout Afghanistan. Danny's assignment in Nuristan, a remote and rugged province in northeastern Afghanistan, gave him firsthand experience helping rebuild agriculture systems, strengthen local communities, and work alongside U.S. military personnel and Afghan leaders in one of the country's most remote and dangerous provinces. Danny and Stacy, who is with us today, retired to beautiful Lake Kiwi in 2016. They stay active by volunteering with local organizations, enjoying boating, hiking, yoga, tennis, and traveling whenever they can. Today, Danny will share his experiences serving in Afghanistan and offer a unique perspective on a part of the world that few Americans have ever seen firsthand. Please join me in giving a warm Rotary welcome to Danny Nuristani Markus.
I very much appreciate that nice introduction, John. Thank you. In early August 2010, my world was rocked by a national news story, and I'm going to show you a little clip about it. Just maybe a month before that, I had left Afghanistan for a brief period of time, and I was spending all my energies in trying to figure out a way to get back. And before I left, though, I was working with a team of doctors, particularly Dr. Tom Little. They were going into my province of Nuristan to do a remote clinic for a few weeks. And I was very excited to potentially join that crew, as I was pretty close with the provincial governor, the chief of police, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, I only had one time that this happened where I felt something that said, no, I shouldn't go. And pretty much at the last minute, I pulled out and I went home for a little R&R. And I'm going to play this clip for you.
Who works in Afghanistan and was a friend of the team leader, Tom Little, as well as a friend of two of the other team members. Good morning, Daniel. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
This team was doing important work in a very dangerous part of the world, but this still must be shocking news to you.
Still processing this, and yes, you're right. It's shocking.
This group, this team traveled like many other aid workers do in parts of the world like this, without any security, without any weapons. 36-year-old Karen Wu blogged just weeks before they went on this trek, quote, "The trek scares the living daylights out of me right now." Why did these people put their lives on the line?
Well, I think the answer is it was work that needed to be done, and they felt called to do it. Nothing more complicated than that. They were committed to helping people that needed help.
Tom Little had spent most of his life, the past 3 decades, in Kabul. He and his wife raised their 3 daughters there. You had lunch with him just before he went on this mission. What did he tell you? Was he at all worried about the escalating dangers in Afghanistan?
No, that wasn't a topic that Tom discussed normally. It's part of living and working in Afghanistan. It's an undercurrent that's there, and you just accept it and acknowledge it, but don't dwell on it. And that was one of the most admirable qualities about Tom and the others in the group that I got to meet. They had work to do. They were there to help the people, and that was really what they focused on. I think their concern was mainly, believe it or not, some of the difficult logistic requirements of a journey like this, getting over the mountain passes, the unpredictable weather. So they were more concerned about things like that than the security.
It's unclear right now who's responsible for the attacks. The Taliban has claimed responsibility, claiming that this team was proselytizing, trying to spread Christianity in a Muslim part of the world. Do you believe that?
Absolutely not. It's the time I got to spend with Tom and Cheryl and Glenn. We spent a full day together hiking around some of the mountains in Kabul, and we're all Christians. We all have strong faith, but that's just a small part of who we are. They were consummate healthcare professionals, and that was their focus. And they loved the outdoors, so we spent a day hiking and enjoying the mountains, and conversation didn't turn to religion any time I was with Tom. It was just the work he was doing, the help he was trying to provide. He had just expanded one of his eye hospitals in Kabul, So I had a chance to visit that a few times, and it was really just all about his work and what he could do to more help the Afghan people.
All right, Danny, Markus, thank you so much for joining us this morning and sharing your memories of your three friends. They did admirable, important work in a very dangerous part of the world that needs their contribution. So thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thanks for letting me share that with you. It was obviously a really tough thing to go through, but most people ask me, why did I go to Afghanistan? I'm going to paraphrase a verse in the Bible, in Isaiah, where, who will go? Who will go? And someone says, send me, Lord, send me. And I don't mean to be glib or holier than thou, but that was truly exactly the reason that I went. When I was first recruited to go to Afghanistan, I didn't know what continent it was on. The answer is Asia, by the way. And I jumped both feet in and was deployed in early 2008 onto the Nuristan Provincial Reconstruction Team, and we were off and running. Quickly, I will, like most speakers do, share with you what I'm going to share, what we're going to cover, why I love Afghanistan. You probably haven't heard a lot of folks ever say that before. Very, very brief coverage of Afghanistan history and culture, including a rather important little secret between you and me. And then I'm going to focus on two development projects I was involved with. One of them, I'm going to really get down in the weeds. The other one I'll just mention. And then there'll a little bit of a look into the future, and then we'll have some Q&A. And I know there's a lot of people that have to get back to work, but we have a very important surprise at the end of my talk. If there's any way you could stay just a couple minutes past, I hope you can, because the timing is kind of, we're doing our best to work it out. So I'm going to put that out there as a teaser. In this photo, by the way, that group of people, I organized a half marathon on our forward operating base on Christmas Day, 2008. So you can see there's American soldiers, some Afghan interpreters, and that's me in the white shirt. And the other picture is one of the Afghan National Army leaders, and who I formed a very close bond with a lot of the Afghan soldiers. And a few years ago, the New York Times was looking for pictures and stories about unusual Thanksgivings. So I sent this in along with a little narrative, and it was got in the New York Times a couple years ago. All right, so I'm gonna move smartly through these slides to keep to our time schedule. One of my favorite lines, though, the Afghans would say, "You guys have the watches, but we've got the time." And boy, were they right. Oh, shoot, I gave it away. This won't work anymore, but I'm going to look for a raise of hands in their fabulous prizes. How do you think most Americans were introduced to Afghanistan? Anybody? How about this picture? Okay. Most people in 1985, that was when there was a lot of turmoil in Afghanistan, a lot of refugees because of the Soviet occupation between 1979 and 89. And this iconic photo went around the world, and a lot of people said, oh gosh, Afghanistan, looks like there's trouble over there. And if you want to ever see a nice little documentary, it's fairly recent. It's called The Search for the Afghan Girl. And I think you'll find that enjoyable. Here's another question. And then, again, the fabulous prizes, I'm going to have to kind of punt on that because I just realized I used to carry around a bunch of gold Sacagawea dollars. And why was it in a meeting as sort of a little parting gift? I take out a gold coin, and the Afghans maybe thought it was actually real gold, with a picture of Sacagawea, and there's always opportunities for being a diplomat and sharing. And I said, isn't it nice that in our country, we have a coin with a woman on it? Not too subtle, but you got to do what you can do to help them out with the women's issue, which I'm not going to touch with a 10-foot pole today. I know it's bad. but here she is. So how about, anybody know what the national sport of Afghanistan is? Okay, good guesses. Buzkashi. Buzkashi, also called goat grabbing. It's a lot like polo, except instead of a ball and a mallet, you use the carcass of a dead goat, but it's on horseback. And instead of a mallet, you can use pretty much anything you want shy of guns and knives. So when the object is to move the goat over to a goal, and that's so this national sport will tell you just about all you need to know about Afghanistan. It's a crazy, fun environment, and the people are pretty tough. So here's some quick facts I can tell you about Afghanistan, but it is very complicated. In preparation for this, just for fun, I looked at my Afghanistan folder. It's got 41.5 gigabytes of information, almost 20,000 individual files, and over the last 18 years, I've amassed a very wide body. So to condense 18 years of contact and involvement in a 15-minute presentation, I'm going to do my best, but I'm going to move smartly. And one thing this thing says, this is what I would wear, I supported some trainings. I'm a subject matter expert. I humbly concede I'm not. But the good news is there's 45 million Afghanistan subject matter experts, and they're called Afghans. So I never thought I would ever know as much as an Afghan, and it's very true. But you can always learn something every time. Also, please don't call Afghan people Afghani. That's the currency that they use. That would be like calling my friend here Mr. Dollar. But they're just called Afghans. But right now the exchange rate is about 1 Afghan to 2 pennies. So that's been pretty stable for a long time. So now I'm going to get into the meat of the presentation here. First of all, I want to cover the Pashtunwali, which was like apple pie, Chevrolets, and ice cream or whatever. It's like, what are Afghans? What do they really care about? I'm going to save one of those, but let's go through them really quick. So first one, hospitality for everybody, and it's world-class hospitality. I've not well-traveled, but I'd be hard-pressed to think of another country that has as sincere, and they'll give you the shirt off their back hospitality. Their honor is very important, and it's really a good idea to treat people with respect and dignity. And we're going to skip Nanawati. And the justice part is that's why it has a little teardrop by it. It can be a negative thing because you may say something you don't think is offensive if you don't know the culture, and you better watch out. And bravery is important, loyalty to friends, the honor of woman, which is a tough dynamic, because in the household, the women do have a lot to say about the family. They even can make a call, I want my son to be a soldier, I don't want my son to be a soldier. And then they're have moral values that are important. I'm going to swing back to Nanawati. I have a very low ability to learn foreign language. I was able to hire 2 interpreters. That's how bad I was, because I needed to. But one word that I committed to memory, and I had somebody write it out in Dari, is Nanawati. This means I surrender, I'm seeking your sanctuary, and a real Afghan will honor this to the point of protecting you to their death. So this is like, carry this with you if you ever go. Although Afghanistan, believe it or not, is a lot safer than it was back then. But this was an important thing, at least for my safety, when I went hither and yon. So we could talk all day about Afghan culture, but I'm going to move on here. This was my provincial reconstruction team. I'm all the way to the left with the black shirt, and next to me is our U.S. Agency for International Development. Next is the State Department diplomat representative, and then we have our straight out of central casting Commander Perez is a PRT commander, and then the highest enlisted man, Willie Mitchell. So we had a few others on our what we called an integrated command team, which would meet weekly to make big decisions. Oh, this quote I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to ask the audience, who do you think is writing to who? I am involved in the land of a leonine, lion-like, and brave people, where every foot of the ground is like a wall of steel, confronting my soldier. You have brought only one son into the world, but everyone in this land can be called an Alexander. So who do you think's writing to who? Yes, who's he writing it to? His mother, actually. So there you go. And this is my beloved Nuristan that he's writing about. He was stopped in his tracks in Nuristan back when it was called Kafiristan. And the good news is if you want a free trip to Nuristan, all you have to do is watch this movie. Because it blew me away when I watched this. And Sean Connery and the other actor, famous Michael Caine, they go off as adventurers and they're in Kafiristan. Well, Kafiristan was what Nuristan was called before they converted to Islam. So in that movie, they're talking all about villages that I know quite well and I've been. So if you get a chance to watch this or rewatch this, it's a classic, wonderful film. And then you can say that you've been to Nuristan. So these are the two projects that I was fortunate enough to get funded through the Department of Defense, a little fund, Commander's Emergency Response Program, also called Money as a Weapon. And I'm going to get into a great deal about the Nuristan Conservation Corps. And then we also stood up a district agriculture center. So I'm going to pay a little homage to the people in the background that started this. There's Teddy Roosevelt, a president that had a very big heart for natural resource management and stewardship of our treasures. Move on to another Roosevelt who stood up the Civilian Conservation Corps. And this is at the FDR Memorial in Washington, D.C., which is a wonderful place to visit. And so just a couple quick facts that kind of speak for themselves. In 9 years, 3.5 million men were enrolled and taught to read, and between 2 and 3 billion trees, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So it was a pretty successful program, New Deal program. So there's also, that's the dean of the University of Idaho School of Forestry, who I did my research, my dissertation under. And my dissertation topic, because of the dean was very passionate, was studying the efficacy of Conservation Corps programs. So for a time, I was very, very familiar with these programs, how they worked. There wasn't a big federal program, but there were a lot of state programs and county programs. So Dr. Hendy passed away, but he was a huge influence on my life. So now here's where it gets interesting. The gentleman that has less hair than the other one, that's Major Rory Alward. The day I arrived on my PRT, he approached me and said, "Oh, hey, you're the new agriculture guy. Do you think we can stand up a Conservation Corps program in our province like they did in the Depression?" And this guy knew absolutely nothing about me. And so of all the topics to pick my first day there, I said, "Roger that, you bet we can." And I was off and running. And before long, we were putting together slide decks explaining this to our team, and ultimately we were funded to implement this. And very simple 3-part problem: high unemployment, natural resource degradation, and public infrastructure problems. This is pretty much exactly the Depression conditions. In our solution, we brought together 90 young men, fighting age males, 18 to 25, good kids that weren't on drugs or anything, and they were sent to a camp that we established for them, and they were taught to read. They had recreation activities and other things, and it was a wonderful way to show the local community that their government was at work. Even though we were behind it, we were funding it, we had an Afghan nonprofit do most of the heavy lifting on it, and the local government officials also were intimately involved. So again, this is just a picture that I'm taking a meeting with local people. Here's another picture. I'm again with some of the an NGO representative and other government officials. The guy in the shorter guy would be the Director General of Forestry. So that would be like taking a meeting with the Chief of the U.S. Forest Service. So these are the highest level people. And finally, the gentleman at the head of the table is the Minister of Agriculture, which would be like me taking a meeting with the Secretary of Ag in the U.S. So we got everyone involved, and everybody was green-lighting it. And we did manage to get $670,000 from the Department of Defense. And it was justified by they're going to put down their rifles and pick up shovels. It was that easy. And so we were very fortunate. It wasn't without a few hiccups, but we prevailed and the project started. And here's just a look at a few of the young men. And we had 90 young men that were enrollees, and then we had about 15 staff. And the project worked out beautifully. And then a little bit of follow-on to this project. I did do my best before I left to do another round of Conservation Corps, Neurostand Conservation Corps in different districts. And that, unfortunately, I was leaving the country and I couldn't get as much done from the US as I could when I was back in the States. The dean that I showed you earlier got me an invitation to a World Wilderness Congress event in Mexico where I presented on this topic of standing up a Conservation Corps program in a conflict area. And this I'll play for you. This was a documentary made about maybe what might happen in what we did in Neurostand and what we might do in the future.
Involve them in an authentic way. And we had commitments from the local people.
If we have a conclusion about the project, so what were the NCC outcome?
An opportunity for their health to be improved, safety, and most importantly, hope for the future.
Okay, so that short documentary led to a longer documentary that's now, I can send anybody the link, but it talks all about the success of the project. And that led to, this is a proposal to the current Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. And so I'm talking about the Taliban. And there was a time when I was in direct contact with the primary spokesperson for the Taliban government, Sohail Shaheen. And we were rolling, and then I reached kind of a wall and I had to pull away. But it's still in the back of my mind to go back and plant 1 million trees because we have proof of concept in Neurostand. This is the other project that I was involved with. It was like a demonstration farm. Most people know what that is. And there was also a classroom building and an office. And that was also done pretty much the same way with community involvement. And it was funded by the Department of Defense. And I think I'm going to really go fast now. After my real world experience in Afghanistan, I supported about 120 training exercises at a former Indiana mental hospital in Indiana. It's a lot to digest, isn't it? So there's what we used as the embassy, and these were training events for the civilians. There was a civilian surge at the same time there was a troop surge. At one point, they had 105,000 troops in Afghanistan, and we were sending hundreds of civilians over, and they spent a week in this make-believe Afghanistan environment before they deployed. And I was lucky enough to support about 120 training exercises over a 4-year period. So that's that. This is kind of a little and I also would get together with Afghan diaspora quite frequently. Live in the Virginia area in particular, there's a very large population. These are some of the young interpreters that I befriended, and we would do all sorts of fun stuff together. And I need to also recognize my 2 interpreters, Ajmal and Hashimi. I just spoke to Hashimi this morning. One of his sons turned 16 years old today. So we've been friends since 2008 when I hired them. And during the month of August 2021, I was on the phone and emailing all day and night to help them and their families get out of Afghanistan. Luckily, Hashimi got his wife and 5 children. Unluckily, Ajmal's family has been stuck now for 5 years, and they may never get out, thanks to the State Department handling of the situation. All right, well, there they are, though, in Greenville, no, in Clemson. So they did get out, and now Ajmal lives in California, and Hashimi lives in Maryland, and they're both, doing fine. And they had big, big jobs before the country fell. So they're starting from scratch. So I think now is time for the surprise. This is a Rotarian in Jalalabad, Afghanistan, in real time, calling in. He is on point for polio eradication in Afghanistan, and I've known him since 2012 when I was trying to help a former Rotary group in Washington make a visit to Afghanistan. Ishak, hello.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for this comprehensive presentation and the great work that the American people has done for Afghanistan in all sectors. So my name is Mohammed Ishaq Niazman. I'm chair of the Afghanistan Polio Plus Committee, and in the meantime, I'm advisor to International Polio Plus Committee of the Rotary International. I'm the charter president. I was the charter president of Jalalabad Rotary Club, which was chartered in December 2004. Our mentor club was La Jolla Golden Triangle Rotary Club in San Diego. Thank you very much. Let me, first of all, thanks the Greenville Rotary Club for inviting me to speak to you and for the support that they provide to polio eradication. The annual support for DDF and the club support. And I'm sure that is a guarantee for the final push of polio eradication from the world. And that support is needed. That support of contribution from the Rotarians and services from the Rotarians from Philippines to San Diego, that is needed because we have only 2 countries in the world that the polio is there, like Afghanistan and Pakistan. It is a single epidemiological block, but still we need to support the program of polio eradication here, the campaigns, polio awareness and surveillance in these 2 countries. The support that each and every club, each and every district provides to Rotary International and to the Rotary Foundation is a guarantee for the final push to end polio. For your information, we do not have a strong presence in Afghanistan. We have only 3 clubs: Jalalabad Rotary Club, Kabul Rotary Club, and Herat Rotary Club, which is in the western part of the country, bordering Iran. We are trying to provide support to the communities wherever it's needed. So the clubs are involved. In the past, Jalalabad Rotary Club was also very much involved in the matching grants and support to the boys and girls, school programs, community engagement, polio awareness, and these type of activities wherever the need was there. Like for instance, last year we had a devastating earthquake in Kunar province. So the Rotarians got together and then they raised some funds, and then with some matching funds from Rotarians in the United States, we were able to provide some food and shelter to the victims of that earthquake. On polio eradication efforts, for your information, I would mention a brief points. This year we have around, in Afghanistan, Pakistan, we have around 16 or 17 polio cases confirmed. And that is much less than compared to last year. And the different programs in the polio eradication, the technical advisory group, some other activities. We are hopeful that we could stop the virus circulation in both the countries, which is a single epidemiological block, in Afghanistan and Pakistan, and to up to June 2027. So that require still the contributions and services of the Rotarians. The Rotarians from Japan, we have a different situation in Afghanistan. There are some travel bans for Rotarians to travel to Afghanistan, but still the Rotarians are coming from different nook and corner of the country to support the polio eradication or supervise the campaigns.
I think our group is running out of time, my friend. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So that's my final word would be we are. It's just the support of the Rotarians that we are in the final push for polio eradication, eradicating the second disease, which the human beings are the hosts. Thank you.
All right, Manana, thank you so much.
Manana, Danny. Thank you, Nuristani.
I would just like to ask a favor of everyone in the room. It's a habit for me, and I'd like you to consider it. When you see a family anywhere that looks like there's a high probability they're Muslim or women are covered and et cetera, I never miss a trick, and I will say, I'll make eye contact with the man and say, Salam alaikum, means peace be with you. And they'll respond, wa alaikum salam. It's just a nice thing. We can all be diplomats. We can all represent our country as the country that it is, a country of welcoming and a country of accepting. I would just ask that as a personal favor to me. And thanks for your time. I don't know if there's time for questions, but I'll be around if there are.
Thank you, Mr. Danny. We appreciate it. If you have any questions for him, he'll be around here right after the meeting, so you can talk to him. We're going to try to squeeze in a brief little thing from Beth. Okay.
Do it quick. The gentleman from Afghanistan told you what you do with your Rotary Foundation dollars, a perfect segue to recognizing someone who's getting a Paul Harris +1. It's important to do it today because Christina Veland will not be with us much longer. When Christina came to Rotary, one of the first things she said was, how do I become a Paul Harris Fellow? She became not just a Paul Harris Fellow, but today she's getting her Paul Harris +1. So thank you, Christina, for supporting the Rotary Foundation. Thank you for making it possible for us to do all the great work that we do in places like Afghanistan. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everyone for being here, to all of our guests here and international guests today. Thank you so much. And thank you, Mr. Danny, for coming to speak. He has signed a book we're going to be donating to Alexander Elementary School. So thank you for that. And with that, will everybody please stand for the 5 weight tests? Of the things we think, say, or do, truth, is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And will it be fun? Thanks. We are adjourned.